Welcome to another episode of Big Z's Garage. Looks like we're on a roll, a week apart. Let's just keep this ball rolling from here. Today, we're going to finish what we started last week, which was the detail. If you remember, I pulled off the old heat wrap or the exhaust wrap that was on the bike because it was fraying and starting to come apart and everything like that. So I figured I would get some more wrap, and I wanted it black, not black, yellow, white, and all the other colors in between. So I did a search on Google and found a vendor on eBay who sold me 2 packs or 2 rolls of 50-foot by 2-inch wrap. Now this is just fiberglass wrap, and we're going to show you how to put the wrap on your exhaust. Now, first of all, what's the hype about vehicle wraps? You know, I don't know if I believe all of the hype. There's some people that say, well, it helps keep the heat inside the exhaust, and so it burns most of the exhaust a lot better and things like that. I don't know if I believe that hype, but I do know it looks cool, and it also helps keep the heat from the major amount of heat that comes from the exhaust from getting to your boots, your pant legs, your legs. I know that since I've been riding it without the exhaust wrap, that I feel the heat from the exhaust a lot more than when there was even just the tattered bits of exhaust wrap on there. So what do you need to wrap your exhaust? A couple things here. You need a Homer bucket. No, you just need any kind of 5-gallon bucket or bucket that you can put some water in. You need some protection because this is fiberglass, so there's going to be some fibers of glass in the wrap, so you need some sort of very good thick rubber gloves. I really like these. I get them from AutoZone. One, because it's the only brand that I have found so far that can fit these huge hands of mine. Plus I like orange, and they're really thick. Then you're going to obviously need the wrap itself. Some people prefer a 1-inch. I like the 2-inch because I can cover more space, and I can overlap by 1 inch. So obviously you need some exhaust wrap. This kit came with stainless steel cable ties, which you're going to need to hold everything down. Plastic zip ties just aren't going to work, so you've got to get the stainless steel ones. And anytime you take an exhaust off of your bike, you're going to want to replace the seals on your exhaust. Because what happens, and in this particular case, I don't know if you can see how this is, but this is the exhaust for a Yamaha Roadstar 1600. This is just almost like a band that is holding a wrap of gasket type material. So when you put this into the head and you put your exhaust in there and you start wrenching it down, this starts to compress that so it fills in any gaps or anything like that and keeps a good seal. Once you've pulled it off, that seal is wasted and you can't get that perfect seal again. So you've got to have replacement gaskets for your exhaust. And of course the tools you're going to need to take the exhaust off. So what are the steps? First of all, you got to take your wrap. I mentioned we have a bucket of water here. I just put some hot water in there. I don't think it really matters what temperature of the water is, but you want to get this all starting soaking while I take the exhaust off the bike. All right, so if you can see here, the nut on my exhaust is an 8mm Allen key. Okay, so I've got my 8mm here, and typically gotta just loosen it first. can spin it around this way.
Alright, that's one side. It's got B-roll. It's just stuff we use. Oh, yeah.
So you can see this is kind of dinged up a little bit. We might have to do a little of adjustment. There's one exhaust. Here's the other. Is going to basically wrap to this point, leaving this part exposed. One thing you might want to use when you're doing this is some sort of vise or some sort of system for holding it down. I don't have room for a vise on my workbench right now, so I'm going to use my clamps to clamp it down to hold it as I get started. Now when you do a wrap, you want to start from the exhaust end to the head. What that's going to do is as you're wrapping it, it's going to go over the top so your edges are facing to the back and not to the front. That way dust and stuff like that will just go over aerodynamically, will go across over the top instead of getting stuck in the wrap folds if you started up here at the top. So we're going to start at this end and we're going to wrap it around. So what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to put it here on the edge of my table, take my clamps, okay, and we're going to clamp it. The clampets. I'm going to clamp it right here. Just to hold. Are you okay? Yeah. All right, just to hold it so it's nice and firm. Now this should be been soaking good enough. Take this water over here and put my gloves on. Just getting over a little bit of a cold that I've had the last couple of days with a bit of a sore throat. So if I don't talk as much, that's why. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and just wrap this up for ease of use. These stainless steel cable ties. Just gonna pierce one through the bag there. So, start where you want it to begin. And you want to pull tight on the wrap. Okay. Now remember, this is going to be the inside of the motorcycle. The motorcycle is going to be sitting right here. So we're going to take this zip tie now, shove it in there. I'm just going to wrap it around a few times like this so that I can work stretches at a time. Pulling it tight, making sure it's laying down. You can see where the little rise is halfway through there. The whole purpose is that I want to come back around and lay the next side of the wrap right next to that, laying it nice and tight. Now when you get close to these curves, it becomes a little tighter as you do it. You overlap more on parts of it and less on other parts.
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand.
There goes my Siri. Siri does not understand what we're saying here. Imagine that. How I like to finish this is I like to fold this in so that my edge is this folded edge. Bring it all the way around. Go get me a couple more. Gotta be careful because see, this slipped off of there, so I'm gonna have to cut that off. But before I do, while that's holding it, most of it down, I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna do 2 straps on each end. I'm gonna do 1, and I'm gonna do 2. Just trying to cinch this down a little bit more on both sides because I don't have the proper tool for this. There is supposedly a proper tool. Okay. So that is how that looks. I'm going to put another one here, cut that off, and that is the first one. All right. Alright, so we have both of our pipes wrapped. Here's the other one. This is the back one. And quite frankly, I think I did the back one a lot better than the front one. Just saying. Just saying. So now what we got to do is just put everything back together in a reverse order. Before we do that, let's put that on there. We've got to pull out the old washers. I've already done the back one. That's what the back one looks like. Those are the new ones. So you can see as you tighten them down, they squish. Either that or that's just a different kind. So you take a pick. I've got one like this that has a little crook on one end and a pokey on the other end. And you just reach inside, and it should find it really, real easy. You just hook it. Comes out that easy. Now putting them in is even easier. Just take it, obviously. I don't think I need to say much more than that. There you go. That is the seal on both sides. I'm just putting these in lightly right now, and then what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll tighten a little bit, and just alternate both sides so that it squishes or it seats the gasket evenly, and we won't have more depressed on one side than the other, which would cause exhaust leaks. And it's all being done by braille right now because these fingers are so big I can't see where they are. Alright, so now the last bit. So the next step is that turn it on, let it warm up. It'll start to evaporate. We'll start to see some smoke come about from basically steam from burning off all that water that we use to soak the wrap in. That'll start to evaporate off. Other chemicals and stuff that they use when they were manufacturing it will start to burn off a little bit. I'm told it's non-toxic, but you know what, why breathe it in? If you don't have to breathe it in, don't breathe it in. So I'm gonna start the bike, let it sit here and warm up a little bit. completed the exhaust wrap, and it's looking really good, I think. It's got a little bit more steaming, some more burn off that it's going to have to do. But when you're riding it, you know, it's going behind you, it's not getting up in your face. And they say it's not bad for you. When have I believed anything anybody's ever told me? But I do want to give a shout out before I close out to a new friend. His name's Jesus Vega. He's with VegaPrint. He has a YouTube channel called Vega23. He does silk screening. He does little tutorials on for those people who are maybe interested in doing silk screening. He did some silk screening for my family, for our family reunion t-shirts. Came out really, really, really good. He's also going to be working with me. We're going to do some giveaway t-shirts for Big Z's Garage. And we're going to go over to his press and do an episode over there. He started his whole thing out in his garage, so what a fitting episode to have, showing some screen printing. Now he's grown so big, he's moved out of his garage, but still he started in his garage, and he'll talk a little bit about his life as a screen printer in his garage. Gave me his card. Again, that's his business card. VegaPrint, really nice guy. I'll leave his contact information below and a link to his YouTube show. And he just happened to have a couple stickers lying around, and so he gave me these. These aren't anything to do with VegaPrint. Bomb Division. I believe this is ink that he uses for his shirts. I don't know for sure, but anyways, they're kind of a cool looking sticker, so I'm going to stick these on here. Bomb Division. Let's put this, since we're kind of got a growth of stickers going right here in the middle. Let's stick this right next to the rainbow pooping unicorn right there, and let's put this silver one over here on the other side, over by Davis Signs. Put this one over here by Davis Signs. Bam! There we go. Getting a few more stickers. If you have stickers that you'd like to see on our sticker board, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll give you our mailing address, and you can send them to us, and we'll give you a shout out as we put your sticker on the sticker board. Until next time, though, keep on wrenching.